Hey everyone, my name is Jake Randolph. I'm here with Sarah Otto. We are the co-founders of Linked Permanent Jewelry Training, and today we're here to talk to you about what is permanent jewelry, because you might have seen the hashtags. I know it's been trending like 200 million times on TikTok. And so, Sarah, if you could kind of summarize, what is permanent jewelry?
Yeah, so basically it's claspless jewelry that doesn't come off. A lot of people think that it's embedded into your skin. It's not. We're not working with anyone's skin. I feel like I get that question every single day. Well, does it hurt? No, it doesn't hurt. There's not anything we're doing with your skin. It's just claspless. If you want it to come off, you can cut it with a pair of scissors or fingernail clippers. But for the most part, it should stay on, depending on the material, 15 plus years.
Yeah, so I actually had Sarah give me this bracelet. So this is a form of permanent jewelry, and so I'm wearing one right now. That necklace is too on you, right?
hmm
Yeah, so my wife got the same style, like a stacked double necklace. And so you can do this in bracelets, necklaces, anklets. And then am I missing anything there?
Rings. I've seen people do body jewelry. I've seen people that do a bracelet that has like a little line attached to a ring. All kinds of things. I mean,
Yeah, and you can do charms on these things too and really customize them. Is that correct?
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so this is, like I said in the beginning of the video, this is a huge trend. I know it's a lot of fun. Like for me, it was just a fun experience. I've never been a huge jewelry guy. Like half the time I forget to wear my watch. But it's awesome because I can just kind of wake up and go. What would you say are the advantages of permanent jewelry?
I mean, my favorite thing is that I'm a mom. I mean, I went to a concert last weekend and I walked out of the house and I forgot to put on earrings. I forgot to put on a ring, but guess what? I had on my body already. And the same concept goes in the morning. I just throw some clothes on and I don't have to think about putting jewelry on. It's already there. So being a mom and having that, you know, break of 5 minutes, having to think about putting my jewelry on or what pieces am I going to wear today, it's a lot easier just to
Yeah,
kind of
so
feel done.
the other cool thing about permanent jewelry is it's a great way to start a new business. Now, from the other industry I'm in, I work with a lot of beauty business owners like hair salons and permanent makeup artists and, spa owners, and they love to add this service on because, it's a great, easy service to, add on. It's got huge profit margins, which we'll discuss in the next video. But, from your perspective, let's say someone's never owned a business, like what are kind of in a nutshell, what are the steps they have to go through to start their own business?
Well, if you don't have a business, I mean, basic, obviously you want to start an LLC or an S corp always, no matter what it is. Could be food, could be wedding catering, anything. And then taking your class, we will provide you with your machine and the tools that you need and the jewelry to start out. If you're planning on having a brick and mortar, then obviously some seating areas and a desk. And if you're planning on being a pop-up or on the go, always having some sort of folding table and decor that you can kind of hang your jewelry on and store your jewelry into. And then one other thing, if you're a pop-up that I could probably think of is maybe having a generator, because not always, like especially at a farmer's market, you're not always going to have access to electricity. So you can get a small portable generator for under $100.
Okay, so let's take a step back. What is a pop-up? You mentioned a pop-up.
So a pop-up, for instance, one of my best friends called me today and was asking, she's in Houston. She was like, hey, me and my sister really want to get this done, but I was thinking, could I, book you for a pop-up and have maybe 7 of my best girlfriends there? We can do charcuterie and champagne. And so that's a pop-up. There's boutiques that have pop-ups all the time. So your local boutiques, I'm small town local girl, sport local. So I'm always in the boutiques and they'll, have me come in and I'll set up and, we can announce that ahead of time where people can book. Generally, that's going to be the situation that you want people to book the appointment so you don't have people standing in line for hours, which I have seen happen. But a pop-up is you'll just go to that local coffee shop or record store or your boutique, whatever your vibe is, whoever you want to support local, set up your little area, your desk, your table, your chairs, your machine, display your jewelry. You and the boutique owner or whoever you're having your pop-up with will announce that in advance so people can schedule if they'd like and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that really drew me to this, business idea is, like I said, I work with a lot of med spas, which it takes, thousands and thousands, like, over $20,000 to get started in that business. Plus, you got to have a place for it. And, there's a lot that goes into it. With permanent jewelry, like you said, you can literally have a pop-up table at a boutique and an event at a bachelorette party. You could have like, a cute little layout that has your machine, which is not very big. And it's something that's easy to start up for people. Like, it's great for, I've even seen college students, do this business on the side. And so it's a great side hustle, or it's a great business, if you want to focus on that solely.
Yeah, definitely wineries. Wherever the bachelorette parties travel to, go there, get on Facebook, be on those groups. But yeah, and it's fun. Who doesn't want to
Yeah.
sit around and drink champagne or wine and put on jewelry?
Yep. So I guess one of the common questions we get with this is like, how permanent is it really? Like, does it stay on forever? Like, what if you want to take it off? What if you're having surgery? Like, can you kind of go over that?
So it depends on the metal that you're using. Your sterling silver and gold filled are only going to last a couple of years, whereas your solid gold is going to be your 15 plus years. And while it's thin, dainty metal that's meant for everyday wear, it's still not invincible. So it can be ripped off with great, great force. So however long it lasts depends on the metal you're choosing and, how careful you are with it for the most part.
Awesome. And so, you mentioned that it's welded on. Like, is this like a big fire torch? Like, what if?
No. So people have the idea that we're soldering this material, and we're not. Soldering is completely different. With welding, we're using electrical current. With soldering, they're using heat. So when we weld, the bracelet's not going to get hot. The client's skin's not going to get hot. The electrode that you're using to weld the metal with is not going to get hot. It's a zero point 0.6, a zero point 0.06 flash. So in seconds, like not even a full second, that the electrode would flash while it's welding the piece of metal. So with soldering, it's completely different. That's a hot tool. It's going to heat up the metal. It melts it all together. Once you're done doing that, the material is still going to be hot on your wrist. So we don't solder nor suggest it.
Right. So is this a risky service? Like, could someone get hurt? Like, can you go over that?
No. So even if you have the ground, which is what helps conduct the electrical current to create the weld, even if you're touching the ground and touching the electrode at the same time, that machine is not going to react to your skin. It's only going to react to the metal that it's supposed to be welding. It might click, but it's never going to produce or generate a spark. At most, it might be a little pointy, but that's it.
Yeah, and so for those of you who don't know us, I've known Sarah for 5 years, and I'm a marketer in the beauty industry, and so when I heard about this, I was like, wow, this thing is going to sell itself, just because it's so easy to, it's one of those new trends that are hot right now, and so people are like, oh, what's permanent jewelry? And before you know it, as a business owner, you could have a $500 to $700 person in the door because they're buying, a necklace, a bracelet, and so with high profit margins too, and it only takes about 10 minutes. And so I was highly attracted to this service when I heard about it, and that's why I partnered with Sarah. For those of you who don't know, we are, like I said, the co-founders of Linked. It's a training academy. So we have an online training course where you can learn and start your own permanent jewelry business. And as the, marketer of that, I help our students, get booked up. I provide them with materials to, promote their business and a lot of guidance and stuff. So whether you're, you've never done a business before or you're, an experienced business owner, I'm sure there are ways we can help you and ensure that you, have the best tools and resources to get booked up, for your permanent jewelry business.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have partnered with you if I hadn't worked with you for the past 5 years, because I'm confident that, I have all the knowledge and the skill set, but you're going to be able to help lead these students into having a successful business.
Yeah, well,
So,
I mean, like, I flew you out to Alabama where my family's from, and I had you train my cousin and my aunt who are estheticians, and they run a spa. Long story short, I watched the training in person, and so like you're such a good teacher that I feel like I could do it too.
yeah, thank you.
And I know the first thing I thought about when you mentioned something like welding or permanent jewelry type of stuff is like, wow, that would be awesome, but I don't have any welding experience and I don't have any mechanical experience. Well, I can say you don't have, you don't need any. Like, she trained my cousin who has zero mechanical experience at all, has probably never even touched a hammer, and she picked it up quickly in 2 hours and stuff. So it's definitely easy for anyone to learn.
Yeah, I mean, I did take a welding class in high school, but I think for me, that's more important for being able to teach the components of the
Yeah.
welding and, specific metals and that type of thing. But definitely, you do not need to have any sort of experience to do this at all.
Right, and that's a good differentiator because I think you're a great trainer because not only have you been doing this over a year yourself and like because you own a beauty business, is that right?
Right.
I mean, I know that because I'm your marketer, but I'm just
Yeah, I'm
trying to
like, why
set
are
the
you asking?
stage. I'm setting the stage for everyone because people might not know who we are.
You're fine.
So yes, she owns a beauty business, and she's been doing permanent jewelry over a year in addition to all the other services that she's been doing for, what, 5+ years.
Yeah, 5 years.
So this is definitely something that's awesome. It's something we're excited about. If you'd like more information on permanent jewelry training and how to kind of start your own business or how to add it as a service to your existing business, we'd love to chat with you. We can set up a free call. I'll also include some information below that has, what's included, the profit margins. We even have our own supply source where our students get discounted rates on all the materials. And so, you can take a piece of material that costs $20 and sell it for $300, and provide an amazing experience for your clientele. And so with that being said, we appreciate you guys joining us, and we're going to be doing a multi-part series on not only what is permanent jewelry, but the profit margins, how to get started with it, and so many other good topics. So make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, y'all.